Hey y'all, this is Jennifer at Southern Junk Chic, and I hope you're having a happy Monday. We're finally having some nice weather in Nashville. It's a little chilly today, but we got sunshine and no rain in the forecast, so we're all happy. I wanted to show you, and this was so unplanned, I had to come by the studio and pick up some things, and so I thought I would paint, do a little painting while I was here. And this is what I made the mistake of painting the frame first, and I shouldn't have, so I stopped. But I'm painting this adventure map. I don't know if you have seen those before, but a lot of people, what you do is, I've got my stencil on here, and I'm going to paint on top of it and then pull the stencil off, so it's going to show an outline of where the states are. And what this is for is if you've traveled to that state, then you can cut out a picture and put it in that state. So it's really cool concept. They have given me fits. I think I have tried to make, I think I've cut out 4 stencils so far, and just they hadn't worked out. So this is it's gonna make it, or I'm not gonna do another one, because they're pretty big. I think it's where's my tape measure? Oh, like 20 by 30, so it's pretty big. So what I'm gonna try to do is an ombre. So we'll see how that looks. I don't know. I'm really into the ombres, and I've been painting that. If you've seen my post of the little wooden blocks I've been painting of the ocean, so we'll see. I don't know how it'll work, but I thought you guys can watch me do it if you want to learn how to blend and do the ombre. So I'm gonna move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll show you my new glitter shoes. I don't know if you can see them. Well, I hope my phone doesn't fall off, but there they are. Whoops, there we go. There we go. Woohoo. I hope I don't spill any paint on them. I don't know if I've worn them very much since I got them a few months back, but okay. Let's see. How's that? Okay. So the paint that I am using is, let me swing you around. Sorry. These are my Dixie Belle Sea colors. So the bottom part's going to be Dixie Belle Bunker Hill Blue. It's sort of a brightish, not a cobalt blue, but not a true navy. Peacock, Mermaid Tail, Pure Ocean, Dixie Belle Blue, and Sea Glass. So I don't know where my vintage duck egg is, but so anyway, here's the color palette. It was the same one that I used on the ombre chest of drawers, and I couldn't decide what color to paint this because I stained it first and then put the stencil down, so it's kind of stuck. Hope I don't. So when you oh man, I don't get anything on my shirt. You want to make sure before you paint on top of your stencil that all of your stencil is stuck down, so you won't get any bleed through underneath. And I've had this stencil on here for a while, so I hope that doesn't, in a while, probably 2 weeks. Oh, look at that. Darn it. Because I haven't been able to decide what color to paint the background. Well, I may have to draw that on or scrape the paint off. So let's see. Let me put up my, and I was going to do the frame in buttercream to make it a little lighter, but now I don't know. So we'll see how the ombre background looks. And when you do ombre, it's always good to have your mister bottle, and then to have a couple of big brushes with you to do your blending. You can use chip brushes, whatever you have handy. Let me get a couple. So, and I usually work, I'm going to go from light to dark on the top, the lightest color up here. So we'll see, I don't know. So I always like to mist my brush. If this worst case scenario, the stencil doesn't work, I'll have a nice ombre background and I can pull the stencil off and paint on top of it. So I'm going to give the background wood a little mist. And you kind of have to work faster on the ombre just because you want your layers to be a little wet to get them to blend. So, and if you feel your paint dragging or you think it's drying out, just give it a good mist and blend it. However, I should have poured this out on my paper plate to make it a little easier to hurry up and do it. But I did open all my jars, so they are good to go. All right, that was sea glass. The next is going to be Dixie Belle Blue. So the same thing, mist your paintbrush, mist the background just a little bit. Now this stencil is a sticky vinyl, so that should, in theory, keep the paint from bleeding under, just as long as it sticks to the background. So blended those. All right, let me get my, and I'm working fast because I don't want my paint to dry out. So I apologize if I seem to be rushing around. So this next color is Pure Ocean. I think it's my favorite. I'm trying to get in the edges. So you have to press your brush a little bit. Oh no, I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. All right, I'm taking my Dixie Belle Blue brush and kind of pulling it down into the Pure Ocean Blue. I think I might add a little more. And I have no idea how this is going to look. I don't want the wood to really show through. Let's see. And I know my sea glass at the top is drying a bit. So I'm going to wet it and take my brush and kind of go back over. Make sure you don't have any brush strokes or any big ones showing. And it can look watery, that's fine. I was kind of going for a beachy look. I need to stop and finish the other colors. All right, next up is Mermaid Tail. And it is a beautiful green color. So I'm gonna mist my brush. And then the surface. And then I may have to blend some blues down more. Just kind of trying to make them an even amount of ombre space. So and if you feel your paint is, you know, dragging a little bit, it's not flowing as easily, you can mist it a little bit. But sometimes you get a little brush stroke when you do that. So let's see. So I'm going to take my brush from my top, the paint color before, which was Pure Ocean, and kind of blend that line. Oh, I see y'all can't see the very top. And then I'll take my Dixie Belle Blue that was up here. I don't like these. I shouldn't have put the frame on before I painted the background, but now I know. I tend to use too much water, but it dries and then you can go back over it some if you see it's washed out too much in some places. Sometimes you just have to stop working it and let it dry a little bit, like right here. It keeps pulling it off. So, all right, now Mermaid Tail is my next color. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Mermaid Tail. This is Peacock. Just going to do a smidge of it, so I'm going to use a little chip brush. Now just use whatever brushes you have. Chip brushes work just fine. They're not as fabulous as the other ones, but they work just as well. Okay, now I'm going to take the Mermaid Tail that was just above it and blend it in and just go back and forth across where those two colors meet. And sometimes you may have to take your lower color and pull it back up if the colors get too blended and you can't see enough of one, or just keep going back and forth and using your water. Okay, I like how that looks. All right, last color is Bunker Hill Blue, which is a navy. It is not as dark as in the navy. Make sure you get any little brush hairs that might come off. That happens with the chip brushes. It happens with any natural hair brush, but more so with chip brushes. Let's see. What can I use? Alright, I guess I'll use a chip brush. I'll wet the surface. And, oh, look at that. Well, it'll blend. Make sure you get in the edges if you have a frame. That makes it a little more challenging. Try to do lightly with the chip brush. Oh, I hate these hairs because they tend to show the brush strokes more, I've noticed. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this one and come down. This is the Peacock. I'll blend it down into the navy. And it's really your preference, whatever color you like. Let's see. Can't get to this edge of the... You may have to take a little chip brush if you can't get the edges real clean. So, let me see. What other color was that? No, it wasn't that one. It's this one. Forgot my color pattern order. Okay, so I wanted to bring some blue down a little bit. Get a little bit of my Dixie Belle blue. It's already dry at the top, so I'm having to mist it to get it to blend back together. And pull it down. Oh, you can't see me. Pulling it down because I want the blues to blend. Now let me get a little bit of sea glass to go here at the very top. And sometimes you might have to put on a second coat if it doesn't get thick enough. Or I should have done a base coat, but this was so impromptu I didn't plan anything. Okay, so where's my blue? We'll see. I hope the edges look okay. And I'm just going to give it a good mist to try to blend it a little. I'm going to blend some more peacock down into this navy. And then I'm going to take the navy and blend it back up. Not too much. Let me... And when it dries, it sometimes is a little less blended. So I always try to do a little more. And then you may have to take a wet wipe and pounce the paint off of it as you're blending, because it's going to keep pulling the colors and make a new color, which is okay because that's what we're doing is the blend. Okay. And I'm going to pull a little bit of this green down. Oh, it's too much on the brush. Okay. Just keep working it till you get the color. And then also you have to make sure you're going straight across and not arcing it. That happens to me a lot. All right. I think I'm going to stop before I get mad and mess it up. So, all right. So this is it so far. You can see. So now I have to blow this dry so I can pull my stencil off. So I'm going to take all my paints and move them back on the table. And throw my brushes over in the sink. And, or maybe I'll wait because I don't know what color I'm going to do the frame. So, okay. So let me get my hair dryer. So give me a few minutes. This shouldn't take very long. have it dry enough to start picking the letters here at the top. We'll see. I hope. This is so pretty. I hate for it. I hate to mess it up. So what I use, come on, is these little tweezers to pick off the stencil. And I know they have stencil stuff, but and I'm going to zoom in. So, did anybody else, I have an Android phone, so everything's going to look backwards, but my phone did an update last night, and it says it's now 5G, but everything's in a different place. I'll be right back. I think I have a pic. I forgot I have this old dental pick that Dentec. It was my dog's tartar cleaner. Make sure you don't have any paint on your hands. Let's see. Oh, I hate to. Let me see if I can. I am not super skilled at this yet. Let's see, hair. Okay, I see it bled a little, but I can clean that up with a Q-tip. I want to scratch the paint where I don't have stencil. Okay, I see it bled a little bit. I will have to check with my stenciling gurus to see what. Okay. So it says Our Adventure Map. So now I'm going to start pulling off the, hey Janet. Jeanette. Why did I call you Janet? Jeanette, yes. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I don't pull it up where any areas are still wet because I don't want it to mess up. But this looks pretty good. I wasn't sure how the brown stain would show up. This was a pain to put down, and I kept reverse taking off the wrong stencil part, and it was very frustrating for me. I'm just getting back to doing this again, and I haven't used the removable stencils, so. And my Colorado and Wyoming are going to be connected in my world because my little piece of the vinyl came off. This is the tedious part where you're weeding it and pulling up all of the stencil. So I'm really pleased with this. So far, we'll see. I love the ombre though. I think that is super cool. That's my favorite thing to do. Does it sell on furniture? Not as fast as just a solid white piece of furniture here in Nashville, but it sure looks pretty. Sorry, I'm being so quiet. I'm concentrating. This is the... Oh, there was the little wet. Okay, I'll have to clean that up. So you have to make sure your paint's completely dry on top, or it may run into, bleed through. And if you're making a sign, that may not be such a good thing, but for the adventure map, I don't know if that will show up as bad. Trying to make sure I get it on so you guys can see. Right. Getting down to the southern part of the U.S. Really glad I found these. These are a part of my old world of entomology. I think I use these to help pin insects with. So they come in handy for peeling off this teeny tiny stencil. All right, I think I'm going to flip it around. Oh, y'all, I really like how this turned out. I am very pleasantly surprised, as I have been for much of my paintings. I did a flamingo painting yesterday because I was so stressed out after doing my taxes. And I love how it turned out. Really cool. I didn't know I could do that. Little teeny tiny bleeding down right in Texas. And a little bit down in Mississippi, Florida. All right. Okay, what? Oh, we have Alaska and Hawaii down here. Elizabeth, come on. The paint was thicker down here. I can tell that where the paint was thicker, it was harder to pull it up. So just a little tip, but the bleeding is not too bad, just in a couple of spots. But I don't think they're that noticeable. Yeah, and I haven't finished taking off the adventure map part, so we'll see. Yay. I should have brought a stool. I need to sit down. Yay, look at that. Oh, I love how it turned out. I really like the dark blue better. I didn't think I would like it as well. All right, I'm gonna take you back to regular. So, what do you think so far? All right, let me pick this off up here. Oh, it bled more on these letters. I could take a paint pen and go in and color it. Or clean it up with, I don't know, a Q-tip with some nail polish remover. If you have any tips, please share, because I'm learning on this too. I think I forgot to weld my letters together so they're all separate. They're together but not connected. It cut them separately with a little piece that joined them. So I think I made it harder than it might normally be. Almost done, yay! So if you're watching the replay, or even if you're on live now, if you're interested in one of these, just send me a message. I think I'm going to make them for $55. So if you are interested and would like a ombre one or one with a solid color, let me know. And that does not include shipping, so depending on where you are. Yay, look at that. All right, let me move this up. So can you see it? What do you think? How do you like the ombre with the map? I think it shows up pretty well. I can't decide what to do about my border. Should I make the border this top color, the sea glass? Or should I ombre the border? That would take forever. I don't know. I think I might do sea glass about halfway and then do the navy blue coming up and make it a little bit of ombre. That would be easier because I have all this stuff up here on the edges that would be hard to cover if I did it in buttercream white color, which is what I was originally planning to do. So I think that's going to be my plan. And if you want to watch, we'll do that and see how it turns out. If you want to. Otherwise, you can hop off, and I thank you for joining. But I'm going to try. I'm going to get a smaller brush because I want to be able to control what I'm doing. So these are my choices. I'm going to try this flat artist brush and see how it does. I'm going to give it a little mist and then use what's in my lid of the sea glass. Well, not much in it. If you paint one of these, put your frame on last, because it sure is a challenge when you already have it on. Live and learn. Live and learn. It's tax days. Everybody done their taxes and sent them off. I mailed mine today. I always wait till the last minute. So I was very stressed this weekend. Give this a little spritz. So it's kind of thick. But you want to make sure you don't get in your stencil area, so be careful. Show when it dries. Okay, so let's see. Now I need this bottom part. I'm going to flip it around so you guys can watch. Is Bunker Hill. This doesn't look as dark. I wonder what's up with that. I'm going to touch some peacock in with that and see. I like this little, I think I got this at Michael's, this brush. It's very similar to the Paint Pixie French tip. I don't know what it's actually called. It came in the set of brushes. That's a special package that you can't use your coupon on. Okay, I think I have this covered a little bit. I'm not loving how, oh, I know why it's different, because this was stained and this is not. That's why it looks, I was just like, could not figure out why it's not dark. So I need to add something in it that'll darken it. I'll try a little bit of my aubergine. There we go. That gives it a darker purple. I just was not loving that bright blue with that. It wasn't matching. I'm gonna add a little bit of the peacock. I'm totally just winging this, so we'll see. All right, I like that. That, I think, matches pretty well. Okay, I think I don't want to go all the way up on blue because it's too dark. So I'm gonna try, what color? I think I may go with the mermaid. It may be too green. We'll see. You can always add a blue. Always add a blue. Oops. So you may want to color, clean your brush out, because see how it muddled up the color? It's not a good ombre. All right, so what was I doing? Okay. Try not to touch anything but the very tippy edge of the frame, because I don't want to mess up the ombre effect I already have going on and with the map. Touched it. Oh. A little bit of, oh, too much. This would be much better on a paper plate so I could blend a color that I needed, but that will have to do. Okay, I think I'm going to have to lighten it up some. This is way more complicated than I had planned, so sorry. I'm dipping into aubergine and Bunker Hill to try to get this bottom color. So this is where you look at, oh, look at that, the time and effort you put into your projects. You really have to pay attention to make sure you're not spending way more time than you can make out of it. So I'm gonna mist, because this up here is getting a little, so I'm just gonna do this and go back and forth and use, where's my, let's see. Ah, okay. Just, it takes a light, feathery, light hand to start. Not loving this blending down here, but all right, I think that's all I'm gonna touch of it, because and when it dries, it'll look a little different. So that's that side. Let me flip it around so I can finish up over here. Let's see a little bit. That's all. I'm not going to touch that too much. Okay, so now I'm going to try to blend this business. Let's see. This is sea glass and peacock, so I'm going to try to blend those. And I'm trying to make it match. I'm going to get a smidge of mermaid tail in here. Trying to make it match the other side just a little bit. maybe spritz that. Ah. All right, that's it. I'm not gonna. No, it's not super blended. I keep saying that, and I keep going back and touching it. There we go. Okay, so the outside is just going to be sea glass because this was too complicated, but that is what it looks like so far. Go back up here. Oh, I don't love how this is. Let me. A little. Alright, so I think that's it. I may have to touch up a little on the inside, but there's my ombre map. Let me see if I can hold it up better. I don't know if you can see how some of the letters right there, maybe and a little bit here, it bled a little bit. But here is the overall effect. What do you think? Send me some hearts and likes if you like it. And then I'm going to work on the inside edges just a little bit because they look like they could use some love and a little more paint. But I'm shocked at how well it shows up. I wasn't expecting the map to show up that well. So, yay! And I can see I got a whole lot of paint on me. Oh. See on the inside of here, I don't love that. So this, I'm going to work on this, but otherwise, I'm done. I'm glad it turned out better than I thought. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on how to ombre and how to do the adventure map. So when I finally get it all done, I'll post a picture so you can see, and I'll do some close-ups so you can see what some of the blending looks like. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a happy Monday and happy tax day.